Hey everybody, welcome to Kat's Creations live on Friday night. I want to welcome you to my kitchen, and I am Kat. For those of you that might be joining for the very first time, people on YouTube, just be, how do I want to phrase this? This is a pre-recorded video for if you're catching this on YouTube. It is Friday, January the 24th. So if you're catching this at any random time frame in the year 2020, because I have lots of people go back and watch videos from like 2018, and they're like, oh my god, I just caught you live, and I'm like, that was 2 years ago. So I'm going to start dating these so that you guys can be up to date. We're doing Mardi Gras. I know I did the poll out there earlier asking for Easter or spring floral, and but if I do that first and then try to do Mardi Gras next week, it kind of shortens the amount of time for Mardi Gras because it's February the 25th. So this will be my one and only wreath for Mardi Gras for 2020. Color palette is going to just be green, purple, and gold. And then I'll walk you through all the materials, then we'll start assembling it, and you guys can feel free to ask any questions. So anyone joining us?
Yeah, there's still gals logging on too. We've got Melody.
Hi, Melody.
Audrey, Sharon, Kathy, Mary, Daisy, Gail.
Hi, Gail.
Another Kathy, non-clerk, and Donna so far, and Karen.
Perfect. Okay, so hopefully we'll get to a point where we're not redoing the whole wiring the reframe. So I think if you watched me long enough, you know how we pretty much wire a 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame together. But it's consistently the same. So if you ever see me doing a video using a 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame, it's always going to be wired exactly the same way. Whether I'm using it for ruffles, curls, poofs, cruffles, I'm trying to think of a combination of any of those, it all stays the same. I am only color coding my wires just because those are the colors that are going to be in the wreath. 6 sections on a 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame. You're going to wire together the 2 inner rails in each of the 6 sections. So I'm going to do that, trying to keep my colors consistent. So the 2 inner, and you do it right in between your welds on both sections. And then you're going to do the same on the 2 outer, now using that center one and the outside to kind of find a middle ground for that. So we're going to wire these 2 together, and then we'll skip over and do the other 2. It is roughly about 3 to 4 inches depending. So you have 6 for the inside, and then you have 12 for the outside. And that's how you would wire a 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame to use. We are doing 3 different color Deco mesh. They're all 10 inches. All of them came from Craft Outlet. We're doing 30 inches on every single one of them. So, for example, we're doing the metallic green. We're doing, trying not to, metallic purple, and then this fun mix with the gold, purple, and green to kind of tie it all together. Why did I pick these colors? Well, number one, they're Mardi Gras colors. I could have just went all with this color, which was my initial thought. I was just going to do this all the way around, keep it relatively simple. But when you take the mask that I'm using, which came from Party City, believe it or not, a Jester's mask, when you lay this next to this color, it really washes it out. It kind of blends in a little too much. But if you take the purple and you pop the purple behind it, it kind of makes the rest of the colors stand out really well. So that's why I chose this and not just going with the traditional Mardi Gras colors. So we're doing 6 purple, 6 green, and then 6 of the Mardi Gras. These are all cut to 30-inch pieces for the cruffle. So I'm going to take this stuff and kind of push it out of the way. so that we have plenty of workspace. Like I said, all these came from Craft Outlet. So to do the Cruffle, you are going to begin to roll just like this. I start folding it 3, 4, 5, and I just roll it 5 times, chip clip, or you can do clothespin. And then you're gonna do the same on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then from this point, you're going to just pull the other end towards you, take your chip clip off, so that you kind of have the combination of a curl and a ruffle. That's kind of where they came up with the name. And so I just start on the inside, and I'm gonna do the gold with that traditional color, just like this. And this is a really super thick deco mesh because it is it higher foil than this? It kind of is. It's every other one. These ones are like every 4th one. So this has a high degree of sparkle. And we'll do the same with the green and then the purple, and then we just go all the way around until we fill them all in.
Sharon Burkhardt said, just bought supplies today to make a Mardi Gras wreath, so perfect timing.
Awesome. So yeah, you definitely want to get it made and get it listed. 3, 4, 5. I'll do one more. Because if you don't, you're not going to give people adequate time to have it shipped to them, nor are you giving them adequate time to have it up on their door. So the fact that today's the 24th, if this sold tonight, it would probably get there right around the 31st or the 1st, depending on days. It's about 7 days shipping window, and then it gives them adequate time to put it on their door.
Awesome, Brenda. She said, "Hi, Ken and Steve. Tell Kat I finally got to order an Easter mystery box from Three Birds Nest."
Awesome.
I told her Kat recommended her shop.
Oh, very
Awesome.
Nice. 4, 5.
Everybody's just joining. Margarita, Sarah, Shirley, Sandra,
And I think when we
Gabby,
were,
Jean. Yep.
even when we were doing our color class, we were talking about the purples, the green, gold would almost kind of act as a filler for a yellow, but that the green, what is it, green, gold, and almost orange are kind of towards that whole, what do we call it, secondary color palette. But gold is kind of, it's not really acting as a neutral, it just enhances the look of the purple and the green. So now we're back to gold. So sometimes color coordinating your pipe cleaners can keep you on target to make sure that you're not overlapping too many colors too close together. So, and of course it's going to start doing this because it's close to the end.
And did you tell everybody where you got that hat from?
Party City.
Sorry.
Yeah. I was like counting. I was like, that's the only thing I can't do is roll and count and talk at the same time. Because you're counting in your head and then carrying on a totally different conversation otherwise. So it's nice sometimes to have quite a few wreaths on hand to look at, especially if you're struggling with, okay, well, what technique should I use in this case? Should I use a cruffle? Should I use a ruffle? What have you. Sometimes like having them, like I have a couple that are on my kitchen wall right now that I can look at and I go, okay, that's what a cruffle looks like. That's the fullness that I'm looking to achieve. Or this is, you know, a poof. Which, coincidentally, it's like we haven't done a poof method in a long time.
And the mask was a little more expensive. This one was $20, but there's a lot of
like
detail in it.
Yeah, I liked it because, yeah, like Steve says, there's a lot of detail, a lot of beading. I'll show you it in a second. It actually, you can redo the Jester horns. They're wired, so you can bend them any way you'd like. Oop, I forgot my purple. That's what happens. That's why you keep your color coding superb.
So Sandra Pizzo said, hey Ken Steve, finally watching a live for the first time. So welcome, Sandra.
Where are you from, Sandra?
Yeah, let us know what city and state.
You.
And then Carla Yeats also said, I finally made it to a live, first time from Bigfoot, Texas.
Oh, very cool. Thanks for joining us.
I'm working on my daughter-in-law's Mardi Gras wreath. It's the fourth wreath I've made, so.
Oh, very good.
Good luck, you'll have to post pictures.
Yeah, definitely, especially once I start posting pictures of this once it's finished, because we never know what it's going to look like until after the live. I can't wait to see your Mardi Gras creations. So it just made sense to do this one now, and then we'll do the other one for next week Friday. So we kind of already have that figured out. Let's see, we're going gold. So here. 1, 2. I find too, if you use the mask, the mask can act in lieu of a sign. So you could always make this for a masquerade party. I'm trying to think, birthday party, Lunar New Year kind of thing. Trying to think of like what else you could kind of use the theme for. Should have turned off my laptop. Keep hearing it chime.
Yep, Donna says she's working on a red burlap heart wreath.
I'm like,
that'd be pretty.
Yeah. I mean, those are pretty much year-round. You could do year-round designs with those. I finished my last Valentine's Day wreath, which is, it's kind of ironic. It's what, like 6 plus about 3 weeks away is Valentine's Day. It's just so hard to do that, to plan. So sadly, putting all your supplies away. But I found a nice way of putting your supplies together, which I'll have to share. It's just kind of having a tote per like seasonal event, like Mardi Gras. You would just put all your specialty ribbon and specialty deco mesh like this. It just goes in the tub with all your Mardi Gras supplies. And that way, when you're ready to do your Mardi Gras, you just grab your tub, bring it down, open it up, has all your ribbon in it, has all your deco mesh, all your embellishments ready to go. Skipped another one again. Why am I skipping the inners? I'm skipping the inside ones.
Margarita said we don't really celebrate Mardi Gras, but Pancake Tuesday is awesome.
What's Pancake Tuesday?
Well, obviously, you go for pancakes on Tuesday.
I know, but is it like a Mardi Gras tradition?
Could be.
Maybe?
And then Caitlin said, hey, so excited to see this. I have some masks and beads I had in mind for something like this, so you'll have to make something and post it on the community page.
Yeah, or just the Kats Creations page. You guys are welcome to post your creations there. I love to see them.
Shirley said, I'm working on a St. Patrick's Day wreath.
Yeah, see, you guys still have plenty of time for St. Patrick's Day. I don't have any St. Patrick's Day in my inventory anymore. I just sold out. So I'm like debating, do I want to do one more? Because that's always a wreath maker's dilemma. Do you want to make one more? Because if it doesn't sell, you potentially could be sitting on it for another year. 2, 3, 4.
Patricia said, hey everyone from Biloxi, Mississippi.
I was just going to say, like.
Donna, hi Brenda. Donna said that's what I do now for organizing my mesh and ribbon. I guess she puts it singly
in a tub. Yeah. Although, I mean, it's good for like main holidays, except Easter and spring. You could pretty much go crazy, you know, with something along those lines. But in Christmas, right? I would never be able to fill just one tub with Christmas. No. Just my ribbon alone, I think I have 7 tubs of Christmas ribbon. And sadly, we'll probably get more this year, right? Because it won't be this year's Christmas ribbon. They'll come out with some crazy cool new design that you just have to have.
Yep. Caitlin Craig said, every day is pancake day.
Every day's pancake day.
Oh, Margarita said it's just our Mardi Gras.
Oh, okay. One.
Hi, Kathy.
So.
Judy said she just finished the St. Patrick's Day wreath.
Yeah. I'm like, I went, because Party City, believe it or not, here's wreath makers, right? Why do we skip out on all the stores that we'd never think would have stuff like embellishments? Like, who would carry Mardi Gras beads? Who would carry masks? Party City. So thanks to the tip from Gail, we went over to Party City just to look, to see like what embellishments and stuff they had for Mardi Gras, and of course that led to Easter signs, spring signs,
St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's Day signs, because the prices were good, and the quality is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they are not MDF, they're not cardboard signs, they're fairly nice, very, very nice wood signs. So that just makes attaching it with the staple gun so much easier. But yeah, all the little holidays like Valentine's Day's, my tub's pretty packed for Valentine's Day. A little, probably too packed to just keep it all together. But St. Patrick's Day has its own bin, Mardi Gras has its own bin, and it's just so nice because if you're doing that as a theme, or somebody contacts you and says, hey, we're doing a Mardi Gras themed wreath, I know it's kind of weird in the middle of the year, you would just walk out to your storage or garage and just grab the Mardi Gras bin, pull it down, and you have everything ready to go.
And Ruth said, hey y'all from Pittsburgh. So,
hi Ruth.
and then Kathy said, Ruth, what part of Pittsburgh? So Ruth, if you can reply, maybe you two are close to each other and you guys can meet up.
You would be fairly surprised at how close a lot of people are to one another. And they don't know it until, you know, they go on a live and they get asked where are they from so they can share that.
Yeah.
That's how we've made a lot of really good connections with people. You know, like even people here in Southern California, even though we're kind of spread out, it's still nice to be able to meet people. Okay, scrunching, 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 scrunching. I just do that because as I get towards the end of my Deco mesh roll, sometimes the curl, like when you're using at the end of your Deco mesh, it likes to curl back as you're working the other side. So these colors are going to be super pretty, very vibrant. I'm like looking at my mesh going, okay. I was like, wait, I'm missing a green. And I know I cut them all. I'm like, do I have everything? Yes. See how it does that? It just wants to flip back. So it doesn't make for curling. 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think I'll squeak out one more St. Patrick's Day one. Will it be a St. Patrick's Day? I like doing the Irish ones better, because then they can be left up year round.
Yeah.
So not having anything that alludes to St. Patrick's Day
more,
per se.
Right, something more like Irish blessings. Or
Yeah. That just has a tendency to sell better.
Margarita, I don't know if there's any other Canadians from Ontario on here.
Vi used to be.
Vibe was Toronto though.
Wasn't she Ontario or Burlington?
Burlington, which I think that was by Toronto.
2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know. You might be surprised. Might be pleasantly pleased. 1, 2, 3.
Kathy and Ruth, I'm going to challenge you gals to meet up and take a photo of each other, Hobby Lobby or
Wouldn't that be fun?
somewhere out there.
Yeah, a meet, like you do your own meet and greets. But it's so nice to have a crafting buddy, you know? There's that one, and then a green, and then
Oh,
purple.
there's Sandra Pisa says, Margarita, I am in Windsor, Ontario.
So I'm taking, must be fairly close maybe.
It could be, Ontario region is a large region.
Could be.
But maybe they're close, yeah.
Only they would know. Right?
Yes.
It's like people going, where's Victorville? Sometimes I go 5, sometimes I'm doing 6.
Oh, Marguerite's of Burlington is 10 minutes from where I live.
See? That's where Vi lives.
Yep.
So she's in her private group. From time to time she pops in and out.
Yeah.
Ooh. There we go. I like to make sure that they're in there pretty good. I'm liking the colors a lot. The purple really plays off the gold very well. So let's get this last one.
Daisy asks, what is the advantage in doing the deco mesh for each section instead of the top part of the frame and then the bottom part of the frame?
What do you mean?
So I guess what she's asking is like doing the outside first and then doing the inside versus you're just doing section by section all the way around. I don't think there's really any difference.
There isn't.
Other than she's just doing a same color palette as she goes all the way around.
Yeah, there isn't. I mean, you could do all the inside and then go and do all the outside. I find that when I do that, especially when I'm working with a lot of material like this, I skip them and I can't find them. Mm-hmm. So doing it this way is supposed to keep me more on target, knowing that, you know, you're going like a zigzag all the way around. So for me, so I don't forget. So there is our Deco Mesh base. What do you guys think? Does that look okay?
Yeah.
Looks super pretty. It's highly, highly metallic, so it's very sparkly. And I like the thickness you get using this method, but then you're also not going overly, like if I just did ruffles, it'd be more flat. But because we're dealing with Mardi Gras and everything is like festive and sparkle, like even the mask. So this is what I was saying, is that the mask, these are all bendable, so they're all wired, so you can do whatever you want. I liked them keeping them kind of wired this way. I think this is how I had it. So you can kind of position it any way you'd like. So we are going to be, I think I might actually utilize the fact that I have all this purple down here at the bottom, but I don't want to put it at the bottom. I kind of wanted it to be a little bit in.
Okay, these said primary colors? So no, these are not primary, these are secondary colors.
Yeah, secondary colors. I think I'm going to do it right in here. So I'm going to kind of set my mask. It's probably going to be a little bit more further up and in the middle. It's kind of nice because it's hard plastic, so it will get tied in, because I try, if I'm using a lot of really nice kind of high quality embellishments or even signs, I want the customer, if they want to be able to take it off, maybe use it, stick it back on the wreath. So in addition to this one, I want to do a bow. So kind of want to do the bow over here off to the side. Then we'll put our mask in. We have some fun embellishments depending upon how it all kind of goes together. And then we'll add some ribbon. So we're going to go ahead and start the bow process now. So let me make sure.
Yeah, Donna said love the gold, it makes it pop.
So do I. But now it's all sticky on the satin ribbon. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to set this to the side. So ribbons. You guys know I usually use 2.5 inch, and then 4 1.5 inch. So the 1.5 inch we're doing is like the Saint kind of Harlequin ribbon. This came from Craft Outlet. I'm going to do some gold, again keeping the metallics really sparkly. This came from Joann's. We're going to stay within the purple, gold, and green. This came from Craft Outlet. The Harlequin, obviously my absolute favorite. This came from Gordon's, which was one of 2 craft stores in Louisiana. They subsequently closed down, but rumor has it they're trying to reopen.
That's the ribbon that Christine got you, right?
And then there's the green lame, Craft Outlet. And then we're gonna do this fun tinsel, what is it, purple, gold anchoring. And this also, even though it says Gordon's, here's that Expressions, which is Craft Outlet.
Oh.
So now that Gordon's isn't available, maybe that exists within the Craft Outlet thing. So we're gonna do, I'm gonna lay these out the way they're gonna kind of, obviously the 2.5 are going together. Then we're gonna add, I think I'm gonna break it up and put the gold. Do I wanna do this and then this? You guys know I'm all about having really pretty print at the end. So I think I'm gonna go with those as my color choices. So we're gonna do the same ribbon that I've kind of shown you in the past, which is going to be a fairly big bow. And even though this ribbon looks very vibrant here, when you pull it off, it's very sheer. But it's going to look nice when we lay it on top of the wreath, because those colors of green, purple, and gold are going to pop that depth that we want in that ribbon back out. So, scissors. Dovetail. So we always start with that. Fold your wired edges together. We're going to cut from the folded side to the tip of that wired ribbon to put our dovetail down. What's wrong?
Frozen.
What do you mean you're frozen? How are you frozen?
Frozen.
Wow.
And we're only 20 minutes in.
It did that the last time too, but now we can splice it. Do you want to go ahead and pause everything? Camera still shows that it's going.
I'm waiting to see if it's gonna come back or what it's gonna do. I mean, it's ridiculous.
And it's funny though, it doesn't do it in the lives, it only does it in the publics. The publics. It's weird. So I'm gonna go ahead and twist. So is it still frozen? Are people still saying frozen?
Yep.
Okay. Comment really quick and say we're gonna go off. So turn the back for part 2. So we built our base, now we're making our bow. It's something going on with Facebook. Anyway, so we're picking back up with the 2.5-inch ribbon. As you guys are rejoining, we'll splice the video together and it'll look as though there was no glitch in it whatsoever. Hey bud, you gotta get down. So 10-inch tails where I'm starting. So using the bow dabber, I'm going to create a 5.5-inch tail or loop to go with that. So there's 5.5 inches. We're going to loop this around for another 5.5 inches. And using the bow dabber, it's always going to be about twist, just the twist. And then we have our 10-inch tail. And we'll dovetail this just like so, and we're good on that end. I knew I had a pin here somewhere. There it is, although it's kind of hard to see because it's emerald green. Are you back?
Yeah, we're back.
Okay.
Everybody's jumping back on. Apologies, something happened, it just froze.
It's Facebook. Because it's funny, it doesn't do that in our privates. We get continuity.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we did 10-inch tail, 5.5-inch loop. This is going to be a 9.5-inch tail with a 5-inch loop. So we'll measure this out. I love the Harlequin because it's so gorgeous. So we'll twist, stuff it inside. Why does that not feel like 5.5, 9.5, I guess. It just was like, wow, it feels like it's the same length as the other, but it's not. So we've got our purple ribbon. There's 5-inch. We'll do another 5 inches. Twist, stuff. We'll make sure it's measured out okay. We hit that 5-inch mark. And then we're gonna do 9.5-inch tail. So I'm just using the measurements on my cutting mat to make the determinations of how big my tails and loops go and keep everything consistent. I throw all those away too. What I'm doing when you see me kind of doing this is I'm taking my bow dabber and putting it so that when I'm looking at it, the middle part here lines up with that 10-inch mark so that it's easy for me to gauge my ribbon lengths. It's a little easier for that. So I'm constantly sliding it. And this will be 9-inch tail with 4.5-inch loops. This is just my standard cat bow, I guess, because I keep them fairly consistent. When I want to do a fairly large, good sized bow, I'm always doing 2 2.5-inch and then 4 1.5-inch, and the measurements for the most part for me never deviate. So let's pull this out so we get 2 4.5 inches. There we go. And then 4.5 inches.
Daisy asked, have you ever used an 1.5-inch ribbon on the bottom and 2.5-inch on the top?
I have not.
Yeah, to me it doesn't seem like you would want to because it hides the 1.5 in the bottom.
It could. I mean, even though you're gonna fluff it and pull everything, you know, all out anyway, I just think that, and there's people, I mean, even when you do the pro bow, you can mix and match different ribbon lengths. I had a gorgeous 4-inch ribbon that I really wanted to use, but there's no other 4-inch ribbon on here anywhere, so it would just look odd. But you can. I think just how you twist it, like Steve says, I think it might get lost with all the 2.5-inch. So now we're taking the messy ribbon. This is the tinsel. So it's kind of like the old tinsel that we used to put on our trees back in the 70s.
Kind of, yeah. Huh?
Exactly like that. And this gets everywhere because I was cleaning this up even when I did, when I pre-cut all my ribbons. So this is a 8.5-inch tail, and we're doing the exact same. We're going to go 4.5 here. So just by putting your finger in the gold and then putting it in the next up ribbon, you can keep your loop sizes will be identical. So for me, it's like 5.5, 5, 4.5, 4.5, and then it'll go 4, and then a 3.5.
Yep.
And that's just like, I have my own standard bow now, right?
Yep.
This is a me bow. Amiibo, get it? Yeah, no. Okay. So I love this. It's fun. There's so many other variables you can use. Like, I thought about using this, which is called waffle ribbon, and it's 2.5. This is almost 3 inches wide. We could have used some waffle ribbon in there just for some texture. You could also use flex tubing, a different color flex tubing, and put flex tubing in there too to kind of give it some just difference, just different look.
The fun thing about Mardi Gras is because it's so vibrant and colorful, you could use so many different textures.
You can.
And colors. Yep.
So this is 8 inches, and now we're taking this down to a 4-inch loop. So 4 inches both sides. Boop. There we go. Starting to get thick. 4 inches. Right to the outside. And then we have 8 inches. And then we always dovetail. I just think it makes for a more finished bow. Just to have a dovetail instead of just a diagonal. I think it just looks nice. It kind of goes with the Harlequin print too, because the Harlequin kind of has those jagged pieces. And then we will add, just reminds me of like the little saint shield. So this is my saved the really nice decorative ribbon for the top. So we're gonna do 7.5 inch tail right here. And
Yeah, Deborah, she said her screen keeps on freezing too. She can see you talk but can't hear Kat talk but don't see her mouth move.
Oh.
And then Sharon said, where can I find the tulip wreath video? It looks lovely.
The tulip wreath, like this one?
Yeah.
Not this exact one. I have one that I did on, it's easier to find it on my YouTube channel. So just go to KatsCreationsNMore on YouTube and then just scroll until you find
The tulip wreath.
tulip wreath. Yeah, I think I called it spring tulip wreath. And thank God I have those, because they help me, because I go back and I'm like, what did I use for the base? How long did I cut this? How did I lay that out? Because it always looks different. Like when I'm looking at it, I'm like, did I really use this? Yes, you did. Okay. So.
Done it, she asks, is that a Mardi Gras wreath and curtains in the back? No, that is actually a carrot hanging, right?
Why is she saying that?
I don't know. And then that's a tulip wreath, the one that's on the door.
Yeah, this one's tulip.
It's like a spring tulip with blues and purples.
And then that's the carrot wreath. Okay, so pipe cleaner. Let's go purple. I love purple over green. So we're just gonna kind of turn that into a V. We're just gonna kind of lift everything up with a bow dabber. And I always hold it the exact same so I can kind of go this way and see right on both sides of my ribbon. And then you can kind of do a twist. There we go. And I know my private group has asked for this a little bit more, so I've been trying to do it a little bit more. So to fluff, because everyone's like, I have a hard time with fluffing. So let's just make it super easy for you. Let's see if this will stay. Because it's always difficult when you don't have the wires to pull them all the way. And this is just a bamboo cutting board that is 24 inches by 18. So it's a 24 by 18 bamboo cutting board. Steve just put a C-hook in it for me because I need more space. And then I have the nail. So when you're fluffing, you're gonna be pulling opposites. So if you grab your tail, you're gonna pull your tail in one direction and your loop in the other. So they're gonna go completely opposite. So loops will be the same and then tails will be the same. So we're just pulling this way. So as you can see, here's my loops, which are under the mask, and then here's the tails completely. So we will do the exact same thing. So here, because we have the tail this side and the loop here, we're gonna pull them opposite. So we're going tail over here and loop to the other side. And then we're gonna grab our tail. There we go. And our loop. And you're gonna pull. So we have our loops and our tails completely opposite. This one kind of folded. So I'm refluffing it.
Yeah, so that's what I need a lesson on, pulling out the bow, fluffing the bow. And then
And so you shall.
Shirley said, born and raised in Baton Rouge, love our Mardi Gras season.
I know. It's so pretty though. So we're doing the same thing. We're gonna go, here's our tail. We're just following the same first one. So tail and loop opposite. And then we're gonna do it here. We're gonna pull it opposite here. So that here's our tails and here's our loops. Same thing. Tail went here, so we're gonna pull these this way. And trying to get my fingers in the bow. There you go. So that loops are here, tails are opposite. And you'll do some final fluffing at the very end for your preference. So we're following the gold So we're gonna pull, and then same thing on the other side. Just like that. And it starts to get full. And then now we're on the last one, so we did, I'm like, okay, I did this, so it's gonna go here. Okay, nope.
Yeah, there you go.
And I was like, wait a second.
And
I
then
always grab the green ones too.
who was it asked, what was the size of the bottom 2.5 inch bow you started with? Was it a 5-inch loop or a
5.5.
5.5 inch loop?
5.5. And then this is where you really want to kind of pull everything around. Obviously, like I look at it and go, okay, I don't want same color loops sitting next to the same color tails. So you just kind of pull things around. And then from here, you can take your ribbons to put the curl back in them. Just kind of run your fingers through them. And then you can just fluff all your ribbon pieces to where it's doing exactly. I don't know why this one just won't. I think it's the way I have it tied on the board, because it's getting in the way of my thing. So Ella, there's your bow.
Yep.
So now we'll take it off of here. So that's why it's so nice to just have it on a C-hook.
Caitlin said, I'm going to have to try this. I always fluff when it's on the wreath. Kat normally does too.
I know,
She
but
said by the
people
time
are
I'm
like,
done, I'll do it hanging. My arms feel like they're on fire.
right. So here I'm like, okay, it's all, see now I can take that funky loop out that I had for my thing, and now I can get that one ribbon to lay flat where it didn't before. And then you want to just make sure your tails, your loops are all open. Put your fingers in them so it's super pretty. We'll bring our wreath back over. And I kind of knew that I wanted to keep my mask down here in the purples and the greens. So let me go ahead and get rid of this pipe cleaner, because all the ones on the inside we're not going to use. So I'm going to go ahead and take this one out. I'm going to grab the two next to them, because if I attach anything else to the center, I'm going to just hot glue it directly into the wreath. So I just twist them about 5 times. So I'm only looking for the ones on the center. So I'm going to go ahead and cut all these out right now. Okay. Always careful not to cut my Deco mesh. So I'm going to cut this one out as well.
Hi gals, just joining late.
We had a momentary technical glitch. So until we figure out what that is.
Yeah, if it's Facebook, I don't know if there's anything we can do about it.
There really isn't, if it's a Facebook issue. But I think I haven't watched any lives lately. I've been super, super busy. I think this will be about the first normal week now. And
You sure want to do that until you're at the end?
the inside ones, yes. I'm only cutting inside. Yeah,
Okay.
This one, yes. Just because between the bow and the mask, it's going to take all that real estate away. And then this way I don't have to worry about, oh, I totally forgot to cut those off. Okay. So we'll go back here. Let me look. I'm going to kind of do it. I think I had it this side. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and attach my bow using my pipe cleaner. I'm going to set it down right on top of one of those inner coils that I did.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to make sure.
And sometimes you have to push your pipe cleaner through the Deco mesh.
Sometimes you do. This time I don't have to, but I just wanted to make sure I'm not going a little too deep like I was. I was missing it completely. So I'm going to go, and you don't want to pull down, because if you pull down, then you kind of defeat the purpose.
Right. You
And-
pinch your bow.
Yeah, you kind of make it look like a crocodile mouth. So I am just twisting that. And then, of course, you got to refluff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but the nice thing is we did all that fluffing already on there. So
Mm-hmm.
now what I want to do, I just want to make sure his hat has those right curls in it. Because it's so much easier to do it here. And then what I'm going to do is pull the mask down. So let me look at it this way. I always try to do it. Okay.
So you can do a little bit on the angle. That's kind of
Yes.
cool. Okay.
Because I knew that I was doing my bow off to the side.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to kind of incorporate all those, the angles of the,
Right.
whatchamacallit. Let me get my,
Donata asked, have you ever done a Mardi Gras wreath on a budget?
no, I have not.
Mardi Gras wreath, you probably kind of don't really want to because you want to spend a little bit more money to get all the really nice, colorful materials.
I think that's what people are expecting when they order a Mardi Gras wreath. They
Yeah.
kind of, they want to exceed, you know.
Just
It's-
imagine businesses who had this in the front of their office or storefront for Mardi Gras season.
It would look really pretty.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of taking, let me just kind of do it this way. I'm on there.
Gary said, wish Mardi Gras was a thing here in Washington.
Right. So I just kind of tied it to the back in a bow to where if the customer wanted to take it off, oh, this is really super cute. I wish, you know, we had this to wear. It's like, go ahead and take it off, wear it, and then just go ahead and tie it back on. You know, using the bow as your positioning point, it's super, super easy. And then we'll go ahead and kind of tuck that down so that this is what it ends up looking like. So looks really cute.
Oh, yeah.
So now we're going to go ahead, and what I did is I kind of, because there's not an awful lot of gold in here, I used this really super, it's like a velvet ribbon with the fleur-de-lis in it. So we're doing 13-inch tails with this and the harlequin, because I love the harlequin print. Because the other one is just a little too sheer. So we're going a little bit, oh no, I broke this up, never mind. So we're doing 3 different ones. So here we go. See, isn't that sad? I don't even know my own design thing. So 4 of each.
Yep.
2.5-inch pieces. I'm adding the gold just to pop the gold a little bit. This is a nice, elegant print. So 4, did I do? Yes, 4, 4, and 4. 13-inch pieces. So I'm going to go around and we're going to alternate what goes where. So I'm going to kind of,
I think there's a few that you didn't dovetail of this year.
oh yeah, I see one of them. I think because I added it, I was like, oh, one short. So we're going to go ahead and add this to the gold. And then I'm just taking these and adding these just to the outside ones only. And I like this harlequin print because it's got the gold metallic or green metallic to the outside.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just kind of having to play with that and feather it because it's kind of got a really tough plastic edge to it.
Mm-hmm.
So trying to get it to feather is a little challenging. And then we'll take the gold and I'm going to add this to the purple. And then we'll add the green, the other to the every green. So that.
Caitlin made a good point. She said if you really plan ahead, you can save a lot of money by getting the purple mesh after Halloween on sale
Yes.
and gold after Christmas.
And green.
Yep, and then you can find the beads all the time at thrift shops. That's true. Dollar
Yeah.
Tree, they have all the beads all the time.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's a really good point too.
Yeah.
Yes, you can get Christmas discounted out at, or the green for Christmas, because you'll also use it for St. Patrick's Day. And then the purple, yeah, at Halloween. And then there's always a way. So I'm always, you know, sometimes we pass those up because we're like, nah, I'm not going to make any more Halloween. It's like, but you can always start. A lot of times how I got my inventory was buying clearance at the end of this season.
Mm-hmm.
And then I already had it for next year. So sometimes I'm buying my craft supplies 9 months in advance,
Mm-hmm.
just to save money.
That
And
mask
then this
looks
one's
so good in
purple.
there.
Huh?
That mask looks so good in there, especially with the bells that kind of dingle off of it.
Yeah.
Jingle
I
off of it.
wanted Jester. I'll have to show you guys the other mask I had. Steve was begging me to put this one.
Do you want me to go get it?
It's right there on the table.
Yeah. But you like it so much you want to
I like it so much I want to keep it. I just want to keep the mask. And he's like, yeah, but you need to put it in a wreath. I'm like, no. He's like, make a wreath out of it. I'm like, no, we don't celebrate Mardi Gras here. So I'm matching up my colors with my ribbons on the outside so they all stay consistent. Oh yeah,
Your reveal.
my big reveal. Just don't let me forget. Sometimes just putting it there so I don't forget. What do you guys think of the ribbon so far? And we're not doing all ribbon, like, I know you're probably going, oh, she's just gonna do tails on the outside, half bows. No. I have a lot of embellishments I wanna use. So like I said, because this is our one and only Mardi Gras Wreath for 2020, I wanna go big. Really go big.
Gary said I actually received a PM asking for me to make Mardi Gras party invite cards.
How nice.
That's cool.
Really
He's
nice.
in Washington, that's interesting, but yeah.
That would be great.
And then Shirley said you would die to see all the Mardi Gras decorations and supplies here at Hobby Lobby and Walmart in Louisiana.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh, I'll bet.
Who do I know in Louisiana? Besides Christina. Do I know a couple people there? I never even thought. Because, yeah, you are right.
Mm-hmm.
Certain holidays are going to be more prevalent in those areas. Like, we don't have anything that is California. Not at all. Okay. So, I like the ribbons. The more elaborate, the better.
Oh yeah, those gold
Right?
fleur-de-lis really looks pretty.
Yeah. Because there's not so much gold in the wreath, I popped it more with the solid colors and just used that one as the accent. But all of these, I think you can still get from Craft Outlet, the Wreath Shop. That's where I order my Deco mesh from most of the time. Just because the quality is so good. And when you work with subpar materials, you can tell.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell when I'm working with them. You have to work a little harder. Okay, going around. Yeah, these two I didn't dovetail. So here's a cheat way of doing it. So make sure your ribbons are both neck and neck. You go bottoms and tops. I'm doing two at the same time. Fold it over. And then I have some pretty, like the Dollar Tree scissors can really cut through. Watch now, it won't do it. Can get through all those layers. And this one's double wired. So I just did the tails on both of them with just one swoop. It's just like a little time saver. And this one's gonna go under.
Donna said, I'm looking for mesh tubing, can't find any.
Mesh tape.
Look at Dollar Tree.
Well, Dollar Tree probably will have green and gold for St. Patrick's Day. Maybe some red for Valentine's Day. Maybe. Maybe not. Purple. Or no, not purple. We
Yep.
have
Cheryl
gold.
said people like to have Mardi Gras over the top, which is
It kind of
correct.
has
Yep.
to be
They
that,
love it.
right?
Yep.
It's meant to be a little bit more elaborate. So we're going elaborate, festive, party. But I'm trying not to go too crazy because you don't want to lose sight of certain pieces you used in it. Like you don't want to go, oh, let's put, like, because I was looking for feathers. Like I wanted to put some really pretty feathers in here. And some balls, beads. But it just depends on what colors you use. You don't want to go too crazy. And here's the last tail. So we're only going to do certain ribbons. I only cut 6 1.5 inches because I want to kind of really focus on some of the embellishments. So we'll do some, but not all. So here is, let me pull this down. Here's working with that green. So this is just adding, and this is what I did last year. I just did tails. I didn't do half bows. I just did a couple ornaments and some beads, and that was it. That's how I left it, because it's already like colorful without being overly done. So
so where's another good place to get the Deco mesh tubing at?
Craft Outlet or the Wreath Shop, Deco Exchange, stuff like that. I mean, if you need it and you really want it, you're gonna get a little bit, you're gonna pay a little bit more for it than what you would pay if you were doing it anywhere else. Let's do these. So I only pulled 2 of these colors. And I think what I want to do, look at how these play.
Maybe do that in the gold.
That's what I was thinking. And this one?
In the Harlequin?
That's what I was thinking too.
Okay.
So then we'll just leave the striped one open. So we're gonna go ahead and just take these. So half bows, 16-inch pieces of 1.5 inch ribbon. So I'm just adding these to a couple. So I'm always making sure that my pattern, like when it's facing the customer, the pattern is gonna be right side up. So you bring your tails together. I go up to about, it's like 2 inches to the edge, and you're just gonna kind of pinch it together. And then this gets put inside. We're gonna put it in with the gold fleur-de-lis, and then we're gonna feather it. 3, 4, and I'm cutting these off because once these go in, I'm done. So I cut off my pipe cleaner, and then I just tuck the tails behind the ribbon, and then you have to fluff and spin your tails. So I'll show you what I meant. So let me try to.
Does Hobby Lobby have Deco mesh tubing?
No. No, sadly, right?
Yeah.
But this is what I'm talking about. So these are called half bows. So you have the loop, and then you have your 2 tails. So it kind of looks like an awareness ribbon turned to the side, because the awareness ribbons just go like that. It would be like if you turned it sideways and then fanned the pieces out. So really quick, I'm gonna go through and just add these to the gold pieces so we can get to our embellishment. So pretty quick. And then this will just kind of finish the look on a couple of these tails. So I'm trying to think where, like.
So you can leave the striped one open?
Striped one open for some embellishments.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Just because I have some fun little picks.
And some beads and
And some beads. Yeah, we'll see if those will work. It might not need it, but we'll look. I mean, we're going to try a little bit of everything without going crazy. Oop, over one. So I need one.
Hey everyone,
more.
just joining.
Okay, so fanning. That one, that one. I need that one. trying to think. I only cut 6. Instead of realizing that, because I was only going to do 6, but if we're doing every gold, then it has to be 4, because I did 4 gold and then 4 of the Harlequin to make the 12 on the outside. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is why it's always so crucial when people go, how come you don't do like, give us the materials list ahead of time? Because I'm creating it right now, just like I would be doing if you guys weren't live. This would be me working on it, going, what do I want to put next?
Yep. Hi, Bobby, Andrea, Kath, and Patty, and Donna. Girl, sorry for joining late.
Oh no, don't worry about it.
Yep.
Replay will be available. Technically right now it's going to be in 2 parts initially, but we'll fix it and get it redone. Okay, so we're going to do this. We set on Harlequin, right? Okay. So we're going to put this on all the Harlequin ribbon. Again, more sparkle. So I twist my pipe cleaners 5 times, cut them off, tuck them behind, and then fluff and fan. It would have been fun to add feathers. Let's see. Try to see. Here's another one on the back side, which is kind of good that we're doing it this way because it leaves most of the ones at the bottom, which are striped, for the embellishments where they'll be seen and not mostly tucked in behind the bow at the top. Because yes, I still do them all underneath the bows.
Well, that's funny.
What?
Andrea said, so I made kitty carrots, cat toys in parentheses, for a fundraiser for a cat rescue group.
Oh, very good.
I know you love to sew, and cats like I do. Let me know if you want instructions.
Oh, yeah. Kitty carrots, huh?
Yeah.
We did, what did we make for our cats this year? We made what's called kick sticks. Here's one in the front.
That's when you did your fabric wreaths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I'm doing fabric wreaths, a lot of times I have strips left over, so I just stitch them up and then fill them a little bit with fiber fill, and then I put catnip, and then I put a little bit more fiber fill, and then catnip, and I do that all the way up, so they're really long, and then you just give them to your cats. So, and they like those better than the toys they get. So see? One more, because I have this one on the back side.
Good night, Donette. Donette, get some rest. She says she's having eye surgery next month to get the haze off of her implants. So, yeah, get some rest.
Yes.
Have a great weekend.
Because the replay is always available. You can watch it at a later time. I'm watching my replays.
Yeah, Lynn said, I don't even like Mardi Gras colors, but I love this wreath.
Isn't that pretty? It would just be fun to have, just to be like, you would know it's Mardi Gras just by looking at it. Like I said, the mask was too gorgeous to pass up.
Yeah, we were looking at some other ones first, and then we saw that one.
Yeah, there were some ones that were like, I wanted to do black, white, and gray, because I've seen that done for Mardi Gras, but I was like, traditional Mardi Gras colors is the green, purple, and gold. So we'll stay with those.
Yeah, black, white, and gray would be more like Day of the Dead.
No, it looks really nice.
Dios los Muertos.
No. Okay, people in Mardi Gras in Louisiana, New Orleans. Do you guys stay with the traditional Mardi Gras colors, or do you expand it to include, because I've seen other Mardi Gras where they've done gold, red, and black, and it looks amazing too. Or do you just stay with these colors? Is this considered like traditional? Okay, so some fun stuff. I found these. Aren't these fun? Don't ask me where they came from. I have no clue. But I thought that these would be fun to kind of incorporate. I have 2 of them, so we can kind of do them like this. Let's see. We can kind of make them pop out of our bow a little bit like that. And no, I have no idea where they came from. None. There's that. But they're all on a nice wire. So again, if somebody doesn't like the way I have it, they can just do it their way. So what does that look like?
Yeah.
Like it,
Mhm.
like it,
Yeah,
like
it kind of
like
matches
that.
the curls of the Jester's hat, so yeah.
I think I want this one out a little bit more though. Okay, so glue gun. Always set to low. So always make sure you have a dual temperature glue gun. I should have just brought my skillet. This is what ends up happening when you don't. So I put a lot of Gorilla Glue on there. And I'm actually tucking this down into my Deco mesh so it'll make for a good contact. So I wanted to make sure that this kind of fanned out the right way. Ooh, I like those.
And no, she hasn't shown the other mask yet that she's keeping.
Oh, yeah,
She can if you want her to.
I will. I'll show it to you guys. It looks like a plague doctor mask. Plague doctor. We want to come right in here. How fun. Look, it's so festive,
Yeah, you're
So
still not
far.
done.
right? Huh?
And you're still not done.
And I'm still not done. They're like, no, what
Obviously,
will
the
she
black, white,
bring
gray
next?
reminds me of like a masquerade ball.
Maybe that's where it's coming into. But it's funny when you search Pinterest and you look up Mardi Gras, all these pop up. And no, I have no idea where these came from either.
There's a tag right there, right?
It just says made in China.
Yeah.
That's all it says. But I think you can get these pretty much everywhere. So I'm just trying to cut them off of the main stem.
If you want to show everybody your mask.
Oh, the plague doctor mask?
Yeah.
This is the one I'm talking about. So it doesn't have an awful lot of, like this one's so much more decorated, but I just like this one. So it's just got the filigree around the outside, but I love the profile. It's
Yeah.
very beaky. That would have worked good, but I like this one better. So, yeah. And these don't bend very well. I'm just trying to see, do they have any bend to them at all? Can we bend them?
Yep.
I guess a little bit. Like, I think it'd be fun to kind of have a couple.
Maybe popping out towards the top.
Like one each. So I'm trying to get these two kind of bend. Putting a bend in them. Kind of going here. And then a green.
What do you guys think about those picks?
As they're settling. Let's see. You can kind of go.
I'm not sure if I see it from this side. I'm not too sure about those.
Well, hang tight. So what do you think?
I'm not too sure about them.
You're like, I think it needs one to the outside. I think that's where you're just not seeing it. So let me, because I'm like, it needs one off to the side. Okay. You know,
Good night, Kathy. Have a great weekend.
You know Paulina's gonna love this. She'll be like, oh my god, I love that wreath. Okay. So, okay. What do you think? I'm gonna try to hold this up without knocking them off till I glue them.
Okay.
What do you think?
Andrew said I like the beads. Sharon said yes.
These things?
Oh, hi Susan. Cousin Susie is watching.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm stuffing them in there anyway.
Your choice.
Designer's choice, right?
Yep.
So, sometimes you can kind of do imitation glue skillet like so.
Kath asked, will the picks ship okay? Yeah, they'll just bend down.
Yeah, they're just, I mean, if you bend them, they pop back up. It won't matter. Because there's no wire in them. So yes, they would ship fine. I just like it to kind of 3D out, I guess.
I think it's good enough to have a 3D just off the mask. So.
I know. I just like it.
But this is where we differ.
That is very true. Because it's not symmetrical.
Have a great weekend, Kathy, non-clerk. She's pretty much almost done.
Yes, I am. I just have to put a couple things around the outside. So let me take my glue threads. So remember those places where we had those couple where we didn't have anything? I've got to fill them.
Yeah, the striped ribbon.
Yeah. So I've got to fill those 4 spaces. So what we're going to do is I'm cutting off the green as I try to reach these. And I'm going to put green bulbs in the outside. So again, just more reflection, more sparkle. So you'll kind of see it right there. Because it's nice because those 2 will be at the very bottom. Down here. One by the mask. We will just put lots of glue on it to ensure it doesn't come off. Right here. And then I think I have 1 under the back. That's perfect because I have exactly 4. I don't even think it needs beads.
Yeah, so this one will sell super quick. Hope so, huh?
We always hope.
Andrew said, I love big, beautiful wreaths. And then Carla said, my daughter, son-in-law went to college in New Orleans. I thought I have too much embellishments on her wreath, but as my daughter pointed out, it's Mardi Gras, so more is better.
Probably
so I have to add feathers.
There you go. See, I was saying feathers. Right here. Then I had one right underneath here. Okay. So do you guys like this mask better than the Plague Doctor mask?
Oh, well, I think with the
this
Jesters,
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it looks so much
Although
better.
the Harlequin ribbon would have worked perfect with the Plague Doctor one.
Right? I don't even know why I call it Plague Doctor, just because it has the elongated nose
Yeah.
on it. Okay. And we're done. So let me just...
I think you can just drape some beads over the Jester's hat, right? You just
don't
drape some beads?
necessarily need to. Let's look. Let's see what it looks like here.
I would.
You would. But let's put it up here. So let us look at what we have created thus far. See how that just, it's a nice spray.
Yeah.
Let me take that, the thread. Here. There we go. So you were saying, look, I pulled out just plain ones too. These ones. You could put them in the box and let people do what they want with them. Oops.
Mm-hmm.
Like so. I'm trying to get them.
Yeah, I think just adding the beads really makes it look,
Mardi Gras-ish.
yeah, Mardi Gras. Yeah.
Like it didn't with the mask and everything. Oh, it's great. Yeah. You can kind of go under. There we go.
Yeah.
Technically, you can just leave it like so. What do you guys think? Beads, what else?
That's it, really, I think.
Yeah. So, there we go. You can kind of dip this one back in here.
You guys love the beads on it?
I think it's pretty. I personally would leave them off and say if you want to drape beads on it, feel free to drape them to whatever is pleasing to you.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it looks fine with it out. I mean, there's so many different things you could have done. You could have swagged your beads to go from here to here,
Yeah.
and then here up, and then they would all drape appropriately.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't want to take away from the mask.
Well, you could maybe swag it underneath the mask so they kind of look like a necklace.
It could.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
That's what Caitlin said too.
what, under?
Yeah. All right. Sherry said, "You are so talented. Love this one. I'm not into Mardi Gras, but I love the tulip wreath too."
Oh,
Judy said, "No beads." Karen said, "Gotta have the beads." Kat said, "I love the beads." Karen said, "No beads." So it's just a mix.
see? So I would just include them and say, here's the photo of what it is. The beads you can remove and add at your leisure. You can put them on, you can take them off, whatever you want to do. You can wear them, you can give them to your grandkids. It's entirely up to you.
We could take them off and just put 3 beads in the box, and that's what they get.
Yeah, that's what they're going in. So they can add or take away whatever they would like. So there we go.
Yeah.
Private group. What are we doing Sunday? Deco mesh. We're going to look at all the different types of deco mesh that are out there. We're going to look at who has the best deals on prices. We're going to talk about how you go about cutting them, like what kind of tools can you use, what kinds of things can you do to reduce fraying. So we're still in part 3. Are we in part 3?
Yeah.
Yes, part 3 of our beginning Design Academy class. So that's every Sunday. And then on Monday, our business class is going over Facebook part 3, which is reviews, how to edit things like adding your website, adding all your social media sites to your Facebook business page, and the community aspect of that, how you can go ahead and incorporate, like, not so much like putting in your email address, how can people reach out and how can they contact you. So that's Monday at 5. If you're interested in joining either our private group, which is, we do this at the beginning of every year. This will be the last year we do this, and then it's going to be available as a course. You either have the Design Academy Beginners or the Business Academy Beginners. Those will start in 2021, but this way you guys kind of get to be a part of the process. Mm-hmm. Let us know, like, it works, it doesn't work, this logically doesn't go in the next consecutive step. But so far, I think everyone's liked what we've talked about. If you're interested, you just go to KatsCreationsNMore.com, scroll all the way to the bottom where you'll see Join Kat's private group. There's 2 steps. One is to sign up for the recurring payment, which is $17 a month for both. Plus, you get, like, this design that we did tonight. You get an entire materials list, so you can basically just use it and go shop and replicate the entire design. So paired with the video, you can basically recreate the look step by step. And then also to request to join the private group. So the videos are always available. If people are unable to make it on a Sunday or Monday night, they stay in our private group library. The carrot on the back wall is part of our private group library. So that's what we taught last year at Easter time. So you can take advantage of that. Any other questions that you guys have? Other than that, private group, I'll see you Sunday at 5. Public group, I'll see you next Friday at 5, and we will make a fun spring wreath, and probably using a sign that I got today. So, any other questions, babe?
That's it.
That's it.
Denise was saying Mardi Gras is a long period of time with multiple parades. It's not just one day. Yeah, we know that. Mardi Gras goes on for like 10 days, I think, doesn't it?
Does it? I don't know.
It's like 7 to 10 days. It's like a
So
week.
does it start February 25th? But you still want people to be able to have time to put it on their door and enjoy it.
Yeah, they have one main parade, but then people still just do other smaller stuff and walk around. Yeah.
Okay. So this is it. This is all I'm making for 2020. And once it's gone, there won't be another Mardi Gras unless it's a custom request until 2021.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, everyone. Well, have a great weekend. Thanks for joining me. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. See? No broadcast interrupt.
No, not after that.
So should we just talk?